Hello and welcome to DIY EV Mods. Today we're going to continue on with the Craftstrom solar project. This particular product that I'm about to show you is not from Craftstrom Solar, but I thought that it kind of went all along with Craftsman philosophy of DIY, helping DIYers, um, and how their system is designed to not require any permits or anything. So when you're mounting solar panels or anything, if it mounts directly to the structure of the house, so like if you're putting screws into your roof or something to install panels, then that is going to require a permit. So I was doing some research, looking around at some different options of ways not to screw into the roof or whatever. Right now, my panels are just kind of laying on my roof, which I know isn't safe, isn't the best thing. So I'm wondering what's a better way to do this, and um, I found these. These are magnetic um, solar mounts. So I bought these off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. But when I was doing my research, I found other YouTubers and whatnot that were mounting these on the top of vehicles and driving down the road with them. So I'm like, if it can handle that, I'm sure it can handle being mounted to a metal roof. So the way they come um, is you get all of these Z brackets and these little pucks, magnetic pucks, kind of individually, and then you have to put them together, and they provide all of the screws and everything. At least the one that I bought did, and I think they look neat. They go right along with the the not requiring a permit, so they're like perfect for this Craftstrom solar project. No permits, no screwing into my roof. I just happen to have a metal roof, and it's not the angle isn't very steep, so this might not work for everybody. Obviously, if you have asphalt or like a wood shingle roof or something, this isn't going to work for you. But if you're like me and you have a roof that you can actually feel safe being on and is metal, this is a great solution for you. So I figured I would just do a video real quick and show you this part. I will also It will either be the same part of this video or a different video. I will put these on my actual solar panels and magnet them, I guess, to my roof. And I'll kind of um, pull on them to see how much, if it, how much strength it takes to pull these off. But um, when I was doing some testing with these, let's try it on this hinge here. Oh, yeah. See, look at that. Not even, and I just pull to it. And it takes a little bit of effort to get that off of there. So these are nice, strong magnets. I will say they are a little bit more expensive than I thought they would be. Like before I found these, I had contacted Signature Solar, and they sent me a quote on a different system, but it would require screwing into the roof, and that system to hold the same amount of panels that this does was actually less expensive um, than what I paid for these two boxes, because this is two separate boxes of this is of the Z panels and the magnets, or the Z not Z panels, the Z brackets, um, and it comes with enough to do two on each one. I kind of wonder if I was to get another set of just the Z brackets and then only have one of these magnets attached, like like let's say that this is a solar. I don't know if I want to do that. Sorry. Sorry if this messes you guys up. So let's pretend that this is the solar panel right here, this brick. Oh, I should have set this up better. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on pause and set this up, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, now I'm back. So here we go. Let's pretend that that tile is a solar panel, and you could see at every corner I've got the brackets connected. So what I kind of wonder is if I was to remove these inner pucks on all four of these Z brackets, if the panel would still hold properly. Obviously, it's not going to hold at the wind rating that was originally designed for this system, but would it still hold well enough that I could basically get the twice the amount of panels attached for basically kind of like the same amount of money, just buying some more of the Z brackets and moving these inner pucks to the new Z brackets and then putting those on different panels, just to try to save a little bit? Or would it not even be worth, because the holding strength wouldn't be enough to really hold the panel strong enough to the metal roof? I guess I'll just have to maybe do some testing a little bit later and find that out. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these up onto my roof where my panels currently are. And I said, here are the screws, the nuts and bolts and washers that they provide to attach your Z brackets to your panel. And I like that it's got this long elongated hole to fit different size panels. And then these holes, they were not elongated, and I do still have to tighten these down a little bit. From what I understand, you don't want to tighten these down too tight. When I initially installed all these, I just did them finger tight, so I'm gonna have to go back with a wrench or a socket and tighten these down just a tad so that they're not too loose, not just finger tight. But yeah, so that'll be the next step is getting these up on the roof and getting them attached to the solar panel. So that will be what I do next. Okay, so here I am up on my roof. You can see my panels. These are the two on. There we go. There's my finger. So these are the four, I guess I'm going to use because of the wattage requirements of the inverters. I've got these two are going to be set up in series. These two are going to be set up in series, and then these two are going to be set up in series, and each one of these series connected panels are going to connect to each of my inverters here. I've got these other panels, this one and this one. This one here doesn't seem to be putting out what it's supposed to, and probably because it's all cracked up. But it seems to work fine for the off-grid inverter, charges the battery just fine. But it doesn't because I was running this one and this one in series, but it doesn't always keep the minimum that the inverter needs to work. So I'm actually having problems with these inverters, and I'll go into that in the next video. I did have all this already set up, but then we had a big winter storm hit. I don't know if you guys saw that on the news, but I wanted to make sure that my family had power if the power went out. So we had the generator that I showed you in the previous video hooked up, and that just in case. And then I also wanted as much panels connected to my off-grid system. So there's the wires heading down to the off-grid system. That way there was two ways of backup in case we ran out of propane. Then we'd also still have the solar. The solar isn't, my particular solar application isn't as robust as I'd like it to be, and as powerful as the generator that I have is. So that was going to be the backup if the generator ran out of propane. But at least my family would have something, you know, to use. Two systems are better than one. Any case, so what I'm going to do, I've got to get these disconnected from the off-grid so that I can get them connected to the grid tied, and get the panel mounts connected here. So I'm going to do that real quick and get these staged where they're going to be so that I can put the panel mounts on them. Okay, so here is where this panel is going to be located. This section of the roof, I'll try to show you here, seems to work the best in the morning. The sun, this is south-ish facing. No, I think true south might be like right here, and we're facing here. But in any case, the sun in the morning rises up over here and goes up. See, right now I don't want to put you directly in the sun, but this is where the sun is facing right now. So the back, unfortunately, with these huge trees I've got in my backyard, it's not exactly the best place for solar, but you do with what you got. So anyway, then this is, well, it's probably about noonish right now, and it's already over here. Once it starts hitting like 3 to 6, then the sun is all down the side of my house. See, and then usually about late 6 o'clock, it's usually about here. So with further expansions, I do plan on putting panels, and there's some ground mount panels and some ground mount panel mounts that I'm interested in, that I can put all along the side of the house, to get some more wattage in the later part of the day. So that way I'm making use of my early morning and my afternoon sun, and then also my later in the day sun when I'm up over here with these panels. Any case, so this one here is going to get our early morning sun. So I've got it right here. I'm going to just use this little Y as an extension so that I don't have to have it too close to this eave. That way it doesn't block anything, although where the sun is, the trees block it more than the eave does anyway. But so I probably could have it up tighter to the eave and it'd be just fine. But in any case, so this is going to be the placement of these two panels. Like I said, I've got them in series. So I got the positive to that panel connected to the negative of this panel, and then the positive of this panel is hanging out and the negative of that panel is hanging out, so that I can connect it to the inverter. So now what I'm going to do, now normally, since this is actually two different panels, I would need two of those boxes just for these two panels. But on a previous attempted video, I lost the footage, so I wasn't able to show you. I actually made a really cool off-grid charging system that was actually installed inside of Claire, but I don't know what happened. All of the footage got lost, and I was not able to post the video. But in any case, I had made these panels so that I could
fold them up, you'll see in there there's hinges. I made it so I could fold these up and stick them inside of Claire, and then deploy them when I was at somewhere where I could park and deploy, and they would charge a battery, 100 amp hour battery, which is actually, it's a lithium battery that is now the battery for my off-grid system. I'll show you that in a separate video. My entire off-grid system, which is actually basically was the system that was installed inside of Claire so that I could charge on the go. It didn't really work as I was planning it to. It didn't really charge it as much. I think I got maybe like 5 miles of range out of it in the whole 100 amp hour battery, even with the panels connected in the sun. It was quite disappointing, and maybe I had done something wrong. But in any case, so with these hinges there, it attaches these two solar panels together. So really, these two solar panels becomes one panel in essence. And so for mounting purposes, I should just need 4 of the mounts to mount both of these panels, because I've got it hinged there. And if that doesn't work, then maybe I can shove something in between the two panels to keep it from, the only thing I can see is it might kind of bend in, with the sides being raised up. So if I need to, I can maybe get a piece of wood or something and jam it in between the two panels to keep it from folding in on itself the opposite direction of the way the hinges are designed. So let me get these mounted real quick, and I'll show you what that looks like. Actually, here, let me show you what I'm gonna, before I do that, let me show you, or if I could, excuse that poor footage. I am so sorry. Sometimes I forget that I'm filming. So there, I'm gonna mount them to these holes right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I don't have a stand or anything that I can use to hold them while I do the work. So I'm just going to have to do the work and show you the results when I'm done. Alright, so here's the first one installed. It was, quite simple actually. I just lined up the hole, slid that on there like that, did the nut and bolt, and there you go. So you gotta do that 3 more times, and then I'll get it flipped back over and onto the roof. I just wanted to show you the underside of it when I was done. And here we go. We got all 4 pucks installed, or all 4 Z-brackets installed. And you can see it's lined up really well. I was afraid that one side was going to end up on one of these ribs and the other side was going to end up in the valley. But you can see that it lined up really well. That nothing ended up on top of the rib. And they seem to be holding really, really well. I mean, the roof pulls up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but the roof is pulling up a little bit before the magnet releases from it, and I'm having to give it, I mean, not as much force as I thought I was going to have to, but still a decent amount of force to hold that on. It's gonna, I don't know what this thing's wind rated at or anything, and really, because of where I am, the threat of tornadoes here isn't as bad as some of the surrounding cities. And I'm told this because I'm kind of down in a little bit of a valley, and the two other bigger towns are just slightly elevation wise higher. And because of that, it affects the tornadoes, and they don't really hit here. Although with these giant trees back here, I think if a tornado did hit us, the solar panels coming off the roof of my house, I got a couple more bigger trees in the front of the house too. This one here and that one there. So if a tornado were to hit, I think the solar panels coming off the roof would probably be the least of my concerns. The trees coming down on my house would anyway destroy it. So looks like this panel's a little dirty, so I do need to clean it. But so far I'm happy with the results, and I'm gonna do that again. So this, I forgot how many were in each box. So there was 4, or there's 8 in each box, looks like. So each box will do 2 panels. So that's not too bad. So I'm gonna do this other one here. I'm gonna put that over here. That will get this side, the other inverter, and then on another video, on my next video, then we'll actually hook these panels up to these inverters, because the video is actually kind of running longer than I thought it would. We'll get these panels connected to the inverters, and we'll get the inverters connected to the Craftstrom app, and hopefully we'll start producing. If not, I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm thinking I might need that 2.4 gig. What do they call it? Not inverter, but it's a range extender, I guess. Because these only talk on 2.4, and if you have a 2.4 and a 5 gig router like mine currently is, it's not going to work according to all of the documentation. So anyway, more on that in the next video. I'm going to get this one set up, and I'll show you what the placement looks like on that when I'm done. Okay, so here's what the underside looks like with all 4 connected, all 4 of the Z mounts with magnet pucks connected, just in case you were interested on that. See, I got it right close to the eave. There's still a little bit of sun here this time of day, so now I'm going to try to flip this over here without destroying anything. There you go. You can hear the little bit of a click as they magnet down. Again, I got blessed on this side. Looks like I'm going to have to move this over a little bit so that it's not... See how this one here is on the rib, and this one is not on the rib, but just move this over a little bit. And now we are off the rib on both sides, and yeah, I'm impressed with how well these hold. Like I said, I mean, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I've got this much room of play. That's the roof pulling up before I get release, so that's pretty good. I'm actually impressed with those mounts. So like I said, I will put a link for these Z mounts with the magnetic pucks in the description of this video. I think that's going to do it for this video. I've got both of my solar panels that are going to be connected to the inverters magnetically mounted to my roof. And since I did not puncture the roof, no screws, anything like that, there's no permits required for what I just did. No permits required for this entire setup. So the next video, we will connect these panels to the inverters and get the inverters registered in the Craftstrom app, and hopefully get them communicating with the power meter and getting some production out of them. So if you like this video, please press the like and subscribe button, share with your friends, hit the bell so you get notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and may God be with you till we meet again.